I mean, you even look at like Jason Segel in Shrinking. I mean, he's got some very emotional, tight scenes where he's very grounded, very serious. And then he's got some big crazy scenes where he's out there, you know, playing to the back row of the house.
Hi, I'm Alex DeLerma, and this is the Cinema Gym. If these videos are helping you and you want to see some more, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep this thing going. Patrick MJ Finerty, you gave me something really nice. Thank you. Well, this is a commemorative pen for the project The Life I Can't Remember, which is on Lifetime, and you've been nominated.
I have.
For Outstanding Supporting Actor.
There you go.
Right? And that's great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Just to be nominated is an honor.
Well, this is my 6th primetime nomination, and I had 1 daytime nomination.
Why didn't I have you on the podcast earlier?
I'm always a bridesmaid, but never a bride, Alex. That's me and Susan Lucci, you know, the same thing. She was 28 years nominated, but she finally won.
Is this going to be the year for you?
Possibly.
So I see you all over the place. You're always working. It's amazing. I'm happy for you. And I wanted to address a topic that I call, is it bad to be big on camera? But yeah, is it a myth? What are your thoughts about that?
For many actors who come from stage backgrounds, especially if you're doing musical comedy and that sort of thing, the one thing directors are always saying is it's got to be bigger, faster, and funnier. Because you're playing to the back row of the house.
Yeah.
TV is a different animal.
Right.
I mean, you know, you don't have someone who's, 90 feet away. You've got a camera that's right here. But that being said, there is still some stuff on commercials where they want it big and they want it bold and funny. There's sketch comedy stuff where they want it big. There's even some regular television stuff where, I mean, you look at Seinfeld. I mean, Michael Richards as Kramer, big as can be. Jason Alexander as George or his parents, big and out there. So
I guess really I guess really where the fear comes in is more so with drama.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
you know, and what are your thoughts on that?
And again, just from your last conversation, what does the director want? You know? And for most theatrical drama stuff, they want it small, they want it internal, they want to be this close, and they want to see it in your eyes. So that's for dramatic TV, film stuff. Smaller is usually, I want to say, the only way to go, but it's 95% of what's done is very small. But when you get into the comedy, especially the sitcom stuff, I mean, you even look at like Jason Segel in Shrinking. I mean, he's got some very emotional, tight scenes where he's very grounded, very serious. And then he's got some big crazy scenes where he's out there, you know, playing to the back row of the house.
Every actor wants to be this word natural it's used a lot.
Or grounded. That's the other term.
See, I like grounded. My favorite more is authentic. I don't like natural, and here's why. What's natural for you? If you are making a decision as an actor about a scene or a play or whatever it is, right? Of course, especially when you're younger, you're approaching, a lot of your decisions are approached from, what's my experience? What would I do in that situation? You know, you'll often hear actors say, I would never say that. I would never do that. It doesn't seem
not
real.
You. That's right. It's a character.
Right. You didn't come from a family of, 2 alcoholic parents. You didn't come from a dysfunctional household of 10 kids or whatever it is. I'm using an extreme example, but natural is only it depends on the individual. What's natural for me, trust me, is not going to be natural for you. All right? So I think I don't think anybody can argue with that. Let's just take that off the table. And this myth about bigness. Do you know how many best Oscar awards have been given to people who are big?
Of course. Absolutely.
Right? I mean, Al Pacino gets tagged, and I hear people say, "Oh, I hate Al Pacino." I'm like, why? Oh, he's so over the top and this and that. And I'm like, did you grow up in an overtop family? Nothing wrong with growing up in an upper middle class family, but I'm like, you never even have touched the lace of this experience. You don't understand. So I like to tell people, don't be afraid to be big.
No.
What if they get mad at me? So let's do another take.
Exactly.
And it's like, is it too much? Is it too big?
Yeah.
Well, we won't know until we try it.
Right.
So
that's also, though, the beauty of the self-tape in today's audition.
Yes.
Because you can always do multiple takes. You do that one that's, quote, natural or grounded or whatever you want to call it. But then you can do another one that's a little bigger, a little further out there. If nothing else, just to show the director, I've got some range here. And they'll just use the one that they like the best. But again, that's another thing I love about this era post-COVID of self-taping auditions. Because the control is now back in the actor's hands. Because I can do, half a dozen takes and pick my best two. In the old days, you went into a soundstage, the session runner...
I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you off.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because you just created another great episode.
Okay.
And then we get done with this episode.
And we can go to
we're going to record that episode.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Sure.
We're going to stay with big.
Okay, all right. But that's it. But you can do a big take to send in, and then they may like that.
If you're putting these restrictions on yourself, like what's that about?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we really don't know what they want.
They being the director.
The casting,
right.
The executive producer, and guess what? They really don't know 100%
of what they want.
No, until some actor walks in,
right.
Like Edward Norton from Primal Fear.
Yeah.
And it does stutter.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, he stuttered. Whoa.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's weird, because here's this innocent young man who supposedly murdered someone, and Richard Gere is his lawyer, and then Edward Norton, being a very intelligent, creative actor, decides, how can I elevate the material? How can I go ahead and bring something special and unique that no other actor is going to come in? What can I pull from my imagination? And the trick of the movie is that we have to believe that kid is innocent.
Right.
And, now we feel sorry for him because he has a stutter. Brilliant.
Because I bet that stutter was not in the script.
No, it wasn't. That's my point.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
And that's what launched his whole career, So don't be afraid of big.
No.
All right. Thank you for coming on the Jim. Good luck with your nomination.
Thank you.
And if not this year, I hope to get another pen next year.
There will be more. That's all we can hope.
Thanks, Pat.
My pleasure, Alex.
The Cinema Gym is all about helping you transition from the stage to the screen. If you're interested in classes, seminars, or private coaching, you can visit the website. Hope to see you in the gym soon.
TheCinemaGym.com for virtual one-on-one coaching for camera.